Hi there. It's May 29th and time for Proverbs 29. Now, this is the last chapter of Solomon's Proverbs that King Hezekiah's men wrote down. Okay? So we'll go through these. One who remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. Trying to tell somebody 100 times, they do it anyways. When the righteous thrive, people rejoice. When the wicked rule, people groan. You see that all over the world, right? 3. Whoever loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but a companion of prostitutes squanders his wealth. Yeah, that's if somebody pops into your head, that's not my fault, all right? For by justice a king brings stability to a land, but one who takes bribes brings it ruin. All right. Who takes bribes, does stuff for money. There's a lot of people getting rich in Congress and in the government that are not earning that money honestly, right? Expand on that, but why? 5. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. And it says over here too, that he that giveth ear to the flatterer is in danger as the bird is before the fowler. When you listen to flattery, it's usually people lying to you, right? 6. An evil man's wrongdoing is a trap, but the righteous sings and rejoices. More righteous, right? A righteous person considers justice for the poor. The wicked one has no such concern. That's true. 8. Mockers incite a city, but wise men turn away anger. A lot of blue cities back in 2020 that were being incited by mockers and looters. And again, just like the bribes up here. Right? Just like the bribes, they were doing it for money. 9. If a wise man argues with a foolish man, he rants or laughs with no resolution. Well, that's the truth. You can hear no admonition, in what sort soever it is spoken, right? Fools can't hear anything you tell them, okay? Does no good to argue with these people, right? They're going to rant and rage and scream and laugh and call you names with no resolution. True statement. 10. Bloodthirsty people hate a man of integrity and seek the soul of the upright. Is that going on now? A lot of people bloodthirsty, more like scared of getting caught, right? Seek the soul of the upright. Let's highlight that just for kicks, right? Just to have it sink in. 11. A fool gives full vent to his temper, but a wise man holds it back. You hold your temper? Be wise. Most time, keep your mouth shut. Right? 12. If a ruler listens to lies, all his servants will be wicked. 13. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. Adonai gives light to the eyes of both. It says this probably 5 times in Proverbs, okay? God made everything, right? Made the good for the day of judgment and made the evil for the day of judgment. 14. If a king judges the poor with truth, his throne will always be secure. Right? Most people step on the poor, and they get overthrown sooner or later. Discipline a rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself disgraces his mother. Right? Discipline your kids, right? It's all over Proverbs. Discipline your kids. When they get older, they will turn into those mockers and looters and inciters up there, right? Happens. 16. When the wicked thrive, wrongdoing increases, but the righteous will see their downfall. The righteous will see their downfall. Okay. This one goes with that. We'll make it blue, just it's the same color. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. He will bring delight to your soul. Correct them, discipline them, spank them when necessary. Right? Where there is no divine vision, people cast off restraint. But blessed is the one who keeps the Torah, the law. Right? A servant cannot be corrected by words, for though he understands, he will not respond. And you have to show them. Right? You can't just tell them. 20. Do you see someone hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Right? Hasty in your words? What do I say a lot? Keep your mouth shut. Right? More hope for a fool. Somebody that just blurts out everything. Right? You remember all through Proverbs, a fool is the lowest form of person. Okay? 21. If someone pampers his slave from childhood, in the end, he will be ungrateful. Suppose you could spoil a slave the way you spoil children. 22. An angry man stirs up dissension, and a hot-headed one commits many transgressions. Right? There are some people, right? Even in politics that are just angry all the time. Angry, screaming. Okay? Never seen him smile. There's one guy that waves a cane around. I have never seen that man smile. He has always been angry. Okay? And, there's others that they have this permanent frown on their face. Stirring up contention. Dissension. 23. A man's pride will bring him low, but a humble spirit will gain honor. Right? What is God like? Humble. He loves the humble person. Okay? Pride, arrogance, conceit. Right? Nobody likes those things, okay? Nobody. 24. An accomplice of a thief is his own enemy. He hears the oath, but says nothing. Thieves won't turn in another thief, right? 25. Fear of a man will prove to be a snare. But one who trusts in Adonai will be kept safe. Okay, that's a very, right? You should fear the Lord. You shouldn't fear man. Okay? One who trusts in Adonai, fears the Lord, will be kept safe. There are people that follow men and not the Lord. Right? That's a trap. That's a trap. 26. Many seek an audience with the ruler, but from Adonai one receives justice. That Lord is the best judge. And 27. The righteous detest the unjust, and the wicked detest the upright. I'm going to make that green. Right? The righteous detest the unjust, and the wicked detest the upright, right? Good guys hate the bad guys, and the bad guys hate the good guys. Mm-hmm. The good guys hate the bad guys because they are doing wrong, okay? And the bad guys hate the good guys because they know they are doing wrong and they don't want to get caught. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's Proverbs 29. That's the last of the Solomon's Proverbs that King Hezekiah's men copied. Okay? Let's put all these righteous ones together because that's always fun, right? When the righteous thrive, people rejoice, right? When the wicked rule, people groan. Mm-hmm. An evil man's wrongdoing is a trap, but the righteous sings and rejoices. Hmm? A righteous person considers justice for the poor. The wicked one has no such concern. The wicked thrive, wrongdoing increases, but the righteous will see their downfall. Right? The righteous will see the wicked's downfall. Right? You can look throughout history where the wicked has fallen and the righteous people have seen it. Sometimes it takes a long time. The righteous detest the unjust, and the wicked detest the upright. Okay? We just talked about that. What else is highlighted in here? By justice, the king brings stability to a land, but one who takes bribes brings it ruin. Evil people always seem to have a lot of money because that's their god, okay? Money is their god, right? And they want to spread their evil, they will spread their money around, right? And you bribe somebody when you want them to do something, right, for you and not for your constituents, right? This goes on everywhere, okay? Everywhere, even in America, especially in America, okay? People are getting rich on normal, good salaries, more money than I ever earned in a year, and getting millions of dollars on top of that. Okay? Making bribes. That turns them into wicked people. 9, if a man argues with a foolish man, he rants and laughs with no resolution, right? Don't argue with these people. You see people carrying signs, don't argue with them. You can't change them, okay? They're just going to laugh and scream and call you names, okay? Suddenly you're racist or something, right? 10 is highlighted. Bloodthirsty people hate a man of integrity and seek the soul of the upright. You just read any headline, okay? You read any headline where bloodthirsty, evil people are seeking the soul of the upright. One's just trying to do good and make it better for everybody. You can get in a lot of trouble expounding on that verse with today's headlines. By trouble, I mean they'll take you offline because they don't want you talking about that stuff. 11, a fool gives full vent to his temper, but a wise man holds it back. Keep your mouth shut, right? If you are wise, you will sit there quietly. Okay? Somebody rants and rages. 15 is highlighted. A rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself disgraces his mother. And 17, correct your son, and he will give you rest. He will bring delight to your soul, right? Now, I discipline my children when they were very young, right? It's not for spanking. And it talks about spanking your kids a lot in, as a punishment and how it teaches them in Proverbs. But note that it's not a daily thing, okay? Your kids will follow your example, right? If you set the example. And I can probably count, I had 3 children, I can probably count the time I spanked them all collectively on one hand through the first 8 years of their life, okay? It very seldom happened, but they had to know that the threat was there, okay? And if you correct them, and now they give me rest and bring delight to my soul because they're all good kids. good, hardworking family. 20 is highlighted. Do you see someone hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. It says hasty in his matters over here. Right? Someone who speaks before thinking. Right? There is more hope for a fool. The lowest person that they talk about, the lowest position in Proverbs, a fool. More hope for that person than somebody who is hasty in his words. Right? What's it say in James? Slow, quick to listen, slow to speak. Okay. 23. A man's pride will bring him low, but a humble spirit will gain honor. Can you be humble? Right? Sometimes you just have to be quiet to be humble. Okay? Don't brag, just be quiet. Be humble. 25 is highlighted. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but one who trusts in Adonai will be kept safe. Now you can't, this is very important. Fear of man. Okay? There's a note over here. He that feareth man more than God falleth into a snare and is destroyed. You should fear no one above God. God should have the ultimate respect, first place, in every part of your life. Okay? Every single part. Right? Work, family, finances, everything. You will be kept safe. Go. We did the righteous ones already. Oh, there you go. That's Proverbs 29 and the last. Right? The last of King Hezekiah's men copied down Solomon after studying his stuff. All right, good stuff. Tomorrow we'll start chapter 30. We'll do chapter 30, which is my favorite chapter in Proverbs. Okay, it's Agur, the words of Agur. Right, and Agur's prayer, one of the most powerful prayers in the Bible that you can pray. Okay, good stuff. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. Stay tuned later today. I think we're in John 11, maybe, in our Through the New Testament in a Year. We'll get to that. This is day 149. So, and we won't miss a day. We'll do the whole New Testament in a year. So give us a like if you think about it. And later on we'll continue. See you next time.